Okay, so here's another one that's really interesting. So when the Pokemon index numbers were originally created, this is actually going based on Rhydon's as the first Pokemon and then followed by Kangaskhan. If you actually look at the index numbers when the legendary birds were added, the Moltres was actually technically the first Pokemon, then Articuno, then Zapdos. So technically, Moltres would have been the first legendary Pokemon, but because it's got the Uno Dos Tres, the first three numbers in Spanish, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, they rearranged it. It was Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos, and the index numbers in that order, but then they rearranged it to Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. It's really interesting, actually. So not only did Moltres have its own dungeon that was cut and then rearranged, but it also had its own index placement out of order. And Mewtwo was later added as the fourth legendary, and then later on, if we're not counting Arcanine and the Dratini family, then you would have Mew, which was then added near the very end. Even though technically Mew could have been an idea for a long time, but they just didn't add it until later on. So, I mean, I guess it really depends on how you want to go about, like, which order the legendaries really were. Because I really do think they had the idea for Mew first, but they didn't add it until years later, though, because that's the story that we have been told by the actual game designers.